Good afternoon, everyone. We're very happy to have you here in the information session for the College of Islamic Studies. Our program is the master's degree in Islamic Art, Architecture, and Urbanism. This is a program that is unusual in the whole region of the Arabian Gulf, as well as the Middle East in general. The Masters in Islamic Art, Architecture, and Urbanism is a program that is in collaboration with two major institutions that you probably know of. Our institution that is stationed in the Minaratain building in Education City. It's the one that you probably all know. The other institution that we are in collaboration with is the Museum of Islamic Art here in Doha. Of course, this is one of the greatest museums in the world, just focused on Islamic art and objects and antiquities, and has a very fine library. It has wonderful collections and a great landmark in Doha. So we have connections with the Museum of Islamic Art, meaning that we take courses there. They get courses at our place. We use the libraries and we use the storage for our hands-on education. The other institution that we are linked with is Oxford University, and we have students who go there, faculty who come to us, faculty who go there to teach, to do research, and this is quite unusual to have anywhere in the Middle East in general. So, why do we have an Islamic Art, Architecture, and Urbanism program here? Let me just go through it very fast, because the significance of it, because of the growing interest in artistic and architectural heritage of Muslim societies. There is a development of the Islamic art, and with a significant focus on heritage. The importance of contemporary discourse about Islam, material culture, with regard to attitudes towards art and religion in the classical phase of Islamic history. So these are some ideas. Can we have the next slide, please? Environmental scanning. There is local, regional, and international. There are over 100 universities, okay, that are. The program is offered in Education City. The programs that are offered in Education City do not offer comparable programs. Most universities in the Arab world do not offer comprehensive programs or a set of courses addressing Islamic architecture or urbanism in Islamic contexts. But closest to us are the American University in Cairo, Egypt, an excellent program in Islamic art architecture. And then there is, in the United States, there are two great institutions. The Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, in Boston, and Harvard University has the program in Islamic art and architecture. They also have this program, the joint program that is known as the Aga Khan program for Islamic art and architecture. We are the closest to these programs. It is clear is needed to relate to the whole subject. The mission become a hub of knowledge, production, and transfer in the fields of Islamic art, architecture, and urbanism by equipping students with skills to both critically engage with these fields and promote their relevance in the contemporary world, with a focus on Muslim societies, of course. Our main objectives are developing a broad-ranging understanding of its history of urbanism in Islamic societies, developing tools for the analysis of buildings and objects and for their consideration in the socio-historical context, and specialized skills for the study and the display of historic objects or the characteristics of architectural design projects. Next slide, please. Our program structure, it is divided up into several parts. There is history, there is theory, there is art, and then there is design. So we get art, history, and we have this hybrid approach, okay, in contemporary design. These are things that are done in Oxford. These are done here, and we are very happy that this can be applied. Okay, we have mainly three major specializations. Islamic art, history and cultural display is the first one. The second one is contemporary mosque architecture. The third one is sustainable. Of course, all this is we serve the industry and our students, professionals that can work in the governmental stakeholders, okay, the different ministries in Qatar, the Qatar museums as well, which Museum of Islamic Art is one of them, and then some other private stakeholders as well. Next slide, please. So the specializations train the students for the assimilation and production of historical knowledge about Islamic art and architecture, as well as the modern audience, particularly through the institution of the museum. Students here will learn about many periods of and developments in history of Islamic art and architecture, design aspects in historic buildings in Muslim societies, technical skills for the study of different object types, and arts such as manuscripts, ceramics, metalwork, through the collections that are in MIA, which is a Museum of Islamic Art. In the course of the program, students will also be exposed to the methods of historians, designers, and curators, yani how they are approaching these subjects in a scholarly manner. Specialization, contemporary mosque architecture. This specialization addresses the challenging and the appropriate diversified societies and architectural expression. The concentration will instruct designers and scholars on the methods of reinterpreting the contemporary mosque, taking consideration the forms, styles, place, context, and cultural backgrounds. Students will practice the methodology and the process of designing a singular mosque and increased capabilities of serving the modern trends of construction while reviving past philosophies and patterns. The specialization will require prominent architects to be involved in the design experience to bridge the gap between theoretical studies and professional practices. Then we have specialization, which is a sustainable cities of Muslim societies. This specialization focuses on the cities of today and the future, to learn about their rapid dynamic growth, to investigate the nature of these cities, to know patterns of residences, to understand transportation mechanism, to enhance public spaces, and to infuse culture in the urban life. The specialization considers new tools and technologies in analyzing the process of evolution and the development of Muslim cities. Specialization will also follow an interdisciplinary approach that focuses on the human and physical process, dealing with the urban transformation by modern and contemporary identities. Finally, it will offer the opportunity to gain a lot of knowledge about all these cities and how to improve them in the future. We have research projects that are taking place now in our department. So we have, these projects are as follows. We are currently, there is a book project which is entitled A Mamluk Sultan's Era. And this is discussing the architecture, the history of the era of the Circassian Mamluks, that is the Mamluk, second part of the Mamluk dynasty in Egypt and Bilad al-Sham, which is the period of the early 15th century. This is one project that is being completed right now. And then we have another project, which is done by Dr. Ramah Gharib. And this is a book project, okay? It's a social sustainability and built heritage in Muslim context. This is a publication that will be published by Routledge Publishing House, a very well-known publishing house, if you are aware of this. The third is another book project that we're working on, both Dr. Ramah Gharib and myself, and that is efficacious architecture in Muslim societies. And the example here is the mosque. And we also have some of our students that are working with us in this project, and it's a great investigation about the philosophies applied behind the successful buildings that took awards and whether they really deserve the awards and how they are today. A very interesting project altogether. These are research projects, some of the research projects that we are working on right now, between both Dr. Ramah Gharib and myself and our students. Okay, you are interested in the courses. So we have the core courses, our history of Islamic art architecture, that's between 650 and 1250, and then the second part of that is from 1250 to 1900. Sustainable Islamic urbanism, past and present, research and design methods, survey of architectural typologies in the Islamic world. And then we have independent modeling, project modeling. In the specializations, we have Islamic objects, Islamic arts, history and cultural display. We have Islamic objects and manuscripts, museum and exhibition studies, and then we have an elective for the specialization number 2, that's contemporary architecture with architecture design, Islamic architecture and urbanism in the 20th and the 21st centuries, and we have an elective. And the specialization number 3 is sustainable cities in Muslim societies. We have the contemporary cities for Muslim societies, globalization, cities and urban policies, and then we have an elective, and then we have the thesis. So how does this work? It works as follows, okay? The first year, which is the first 2 semesters, we finish the first part of the program, which is the core courses. Second year, which is the third and the fourth semester, we do the specializations. So we have every student goes into one of these specialization, like Islamic arts or mosque architecture or sustainable cities, and they take the courses for that. And then at the end of that, there is the thesis, which usually takes more than a semester, the last semester, or a little more than the last semester. This is basically about the courses. So the foundation courses is 1, core curriculum is 6 courses, required courses for the major is 3, and thesis specialization is 1, and then there is a free elective. The number of hours is written there, and then by that altogether is 35 credit hours. And of course, this is the length of the study is 4 semesters that have to be completed in 2 years. We have some interesting activities in our course, in our program of in our program of Islamic art, architecture, and urbanism. First of all, we have activities like public lectures all the time. Either we give lectures at our institution, or we give lectures outside with maybe with MIA or with Oxford University, and we can do that either face-to-face or online. We have workshops that are offered in our program. We have lots of projects that students can be part of according to their interests and all of that. We also have some outstanding activities, and these are like our students, some of our selected students are selected to go and spend 4 weeks at Oxford University. Dr. Gharib has mentioned that a little earlier, but maybe it's just just went through it fast. 4 weeks at Oxford at the beginning of the 4th semester to enhance the research and to know more about the library use in Oxford and all of them. That is partially sponsored by the university. We have wonderful libraries, the library of the Hamad bin Khalifa University Library that we saw a slide of. Dr. Remah showed us a slide of earlier, and we use the library of the Museum of Islamic Art and also the National Library, the fantastic library that we have in Doha, as well as others. We are teaching in a fantastic building you've seen photos of throughout. It's a very futuristic, modern building that is modern Islamic. It has lots of interesting, it's just a work of art that it's a delight to work in and use it all the time. And it's just a fantastic building altogether. And then we have something unusual as well, and that is not offered by any university anywhere in the world, and that we have an annual study trip to study Islamic architecture in one of the Islamic countries anywhere in the world. And that is, so far we visited the students, okay, visited Cairo in Egypt, Islamic architecture in Egypt, spending a week. We spent a week in Istanbul, in Turkey, just Islamic architecture. We went to the Kingdom of Jordan a couple of years ago. And last year, in 2020, we were supposed to go to Spain, but of course, due to COVID, we did not go, and we will probably go next year if it's possible, maybe the year after, but it is on our agenda. I hope that what I said made some clarity about our program, which is quite fun and dynamic. And if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer. Please.
Thank you, Dr. Tarek, for the wonderful presentation. And I open the floor for all our attendees to share their questions either through the chat box, or if they would like to unmute and say out the questions that they have in mind.
Sure. Thank you.
Lagi satu contoh.
Yes.
Kenapa saja? Kenapa? Cewek kan ada.
Hello. Hello. Any questions?
Hello. For me, it's okay. Thank you for your presentations here. And
thank you.
It was very interesting presentation. So I hope we will join in your next session, inshallah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you very much for all our attendees. Again, if you would like to spend some time listening to the other sessions, please visit the web pages we provided through the chat box.
Yes.
And thank you very much for attending the presentation for the Masters of Science of Islamic Art, Architecture, and Urbanism. Thank you, Dr. Tariq, very much for the wonderful presentation, and looking forward for all of your applications through our website. We will be receiving applications until end of March, inshallah. So looking forward for your inputs, and hopefully we see you in Doha, inshallah. Thank you. This will be the end of our presentation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For the introductions, and thank you, everyone.